Let's turn flour into boneless wings.
This high protein recipe is so meaty and some of the best plant-based barbecue ever. These barbecue boneless wings are made from flour wash seitan, making it a great budget recipe since it's made from bread flour.
Start by adding our flour to a really big bowl. Enough water to just make this a dough. Let's see if this is enough. Now that we have like a dough formed, we're just gonna let this rest for like an hour.
Gently knead the dough to make it smooth and then cover it with water to prevent it from drying out, and sprinkle salt over it and let it rest overnight. The next day, gently knead the dough under the water and then pour out that starchy, salty water. Then add more water and strain the dough to save the starch water for other recipes. And you want to continue washing the dough until it comes out clear and it's very elastic. When you save the starch water, you'll notice that the water will separate from the starch, and I give that water to my plants and then I reserve the rest of the starch for other recipes.
To season these wings, I'm going to do a mixture of nutritional yeast flakes and mushroom powder, just because it's like adds this really powerful body. And then, because I want to make these barbecue wings, I was thinking I was going to add some of this barbecue seasoning to the wings directly, because then it's almost like, you know, if you were like marinating chicken or something, right?
Sprinkle your seasonings and massage them in, and then you'll want to like fold the dough over itself to incorporate it. You'll notice this dough is not very absorbent and you'll have to like knead the seasonings in, and you want to like add your seasonings in increments to really make sure that you have an even homogenized texture. So just, you know, keep rubbing it in and keep folding it into itself, and then you'll get it.
You want to break up your seitan into chunks that will fit inside of your little fabric bags. You just want something that's big enough that will expand. So then from here we're going to make help texture it. So we're gonna stretch it out into like a long little bit.
And we're going to continue this process and break up all of the seitan into small little chunks, and then we're going to stretch it out into a long rope and knot it all into itself so it's like a giant knotted little balls. And this really helps improve the texture, and it really just makes a better seitan. Now we're going to fry the exterior of all of your knotted seitan balls. I have like about a 1/4 cup of coconut oil, and you can use any neutral flavored oil. We just want to get the exterior nice and crispy before we put them inside of our small muslin bags, or you can individually wrap them in cheesecloth. And now we're gonna make a barbecue broth to simmer all of our knotted and fried seitan in. So the point of this broth is just to taste like barbecue sauce, but it's in broth form. So we're gonna do like caramelizing onions, adding a little bit of vinegar, tomato paste, all the stuff that's gonna make it really taste like barbecue. And our seitan is going to slow cook in this overnight. I recommend that you doing it for at least 24 hours for a firmer seitan, but you could get away with 12 hours. And it's super flavorful doing it this way. Just make sure that you're cooking it on the lowest heat possible. Like in the Instant Pot, it's on slow cook on low.
Now that we let our seitan simmer overnight, I'm going to unwrap all of these. Oh wow, so meaty. We marinated our seitan, and now let's fry this up.
Bring a pan to medium-high heat and add about 2 tablespoons of oil. The second fry is to help create more of a skin for these wings and gives it a richer flavor.
All right, let's bake this so that way it like really gets in there. Because I don't want the barbecue sauce to dry out too fast, I'm going to put a ceramic lid over this. Just have your seitan covered.
I I made 2 batches of this where I wanted to see the difference between a seitan that had baked at 350 with no overnight rest after the simmer and another seitan that I let rest overnight and then baked at 375.
So I was going to turn these into sandwiches, but I can't help myself. This is so good on its own. They're supposed to be wings, so you eat them with your fingers, but just to keep it cleaner, this is a lot of barbecue sauce. I'm using a fork. It's so good. Oh my God. While I made these to be enjoyed as wings, I'm gonna turn this into a slider. So I have like a little potato slider bun, and I'm gonna do is have a little bit of homemade ranch.
Now I'm adding the barbecue seitan, and I'm gonna add some lettuce and homemade pickled red onion. Look at my website for that recipe. But banana peppers, caramelized onions, or cheddar cheese could all be great options here too.
So you have a barbecue ranch slider. Dude.